Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We have a breaking news story that we're following as a man was found shot in eastern Wake County this morning. How deputies say two scenes nearly 3 miles apart are connected.
And it feels great for your morning exercise. Again, we're starting off with temperatures in the mid-50s, but I'll show you why warmer air is on the way.
Plus, school performance. This morning, we're getting new information about standardized test results in North Carolina, what they're expected to show about how classrooms are working through funding cuts. Thanks so much for waking up with us this Wednesday morning here on WRAL News. I'm Chris Lovingood. We want to swing over to our weather forecast. As advertised, Elizabeth, another fall-like start to our September.
Ooh, yeah, it feels nice and cool out there. Temperatures in the 50s. Skies are clear, so we do have the top of the tower lit in blue. It's a lovely morning out there, similar to yesterday. We're starting off with temperatures in the mid-50s and dew points in the mid-50s, and that's a very comfortable feel, so no humidity to worry about this morning. Temperatures heading out the doors, 59 in Fayetteville, 56 in Rocky Mount, 50 degrees in Roxborough, 60 in Clinton. That's our only spot in the 60s right now. So enjoy that morning run, the walk with the dog, walking the kids to school, whatever you're doing. It feels great out there. Temperatures in the mid-70s at lunchtime, and we'll climb to 82 this afternoon. A little warmer than yesterday, but a larger warm-up is in the forecast for later in the week. And tomorrow, we get back to a chance of rain. Most of it likely to be later in the evening, but I'll walk you through the timeline on Futurecast coming up.
Sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. Let's get back to that breaking news story. A person was sent to the hospital this morning because of a shooting in eastern Wake County. Deputies are investigating after a man was found on Privet Road, and they also found a car was found with a bullet hole near Edgemont Road near Wendell. Let's go ahead and bring in Ali Kadlubar. She is in the WRAL breaking news tracker on this story. Ali, you've been speaking with law enforcement over the last several hours. What have you learned?
Yes, over the past 30 minutes, we've seen officers leave the scene here. They were investigating this car behind me. You can see that bullet hole in the back windshield. It is shattered. This is one of two scenes that we saw officers investigate this morning. Take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. This was around 2:30 a.m. You can see both of those scenes. Multiple deputies tell me that these scenes are connected. Deputies responded to a shooting around 1 a.m. on Privet Road. They found a man with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. 3 miles away, they found this car with a bullet hole. It was parked on Cooper's Hawk Trail. We are working to find out how these two scenes are connected, as well as if anybody has been arrested. Reporting live in Wake County, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
Today, parents will get the chance to see new data showing how schools are performing. And this data deals with standardized testing. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live at the Department of Public Instruction in Raleigh. Flynn, these results show how students are performing in key subject areas.
And Chris, leaders will be looking at these results to see how well student learning is improving and recovering from the pandemic. Now, last year's results revealed in some cases districts on average are doing better than they were before the pandemic, but results vary by school. In Wake County, past results show reading proficiency among students rose slightly last year to just over 61%. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhurst says these results will come as more than $1 billion in COVID relief funds used for tutoring and other intervention programs to help engage students has run out.
Those programs have been cut or reduced in a lot of places because basically that funding ran out. That funding ran out a year ago. And so the 2024-25 school year, this last school year that we're going to get test results from, was actually the first school year that they didn't have some of these dollars.
And once those results are released here later this morning, we'll have a county-by-county breakdown as well as an individual school breakdown on our website. That's WRAL.com. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This morning, part of Falls of Noose Road in North Raleigh remains closed after this crash right here. We're going to give you a look at the road there as it looks this morning. Crash happened around 4 p.m. yesterday near Hunting Ridge Road. Sky 5 was above that aftermath, and police say one of the two cars involved overturned and hit a telephone pole. That wound up snapping apart and then brought down traffic signals as well as a street sign. Teams have worked through the night to get things cleaned up there, and we are working to learn what led to that crash, but police say that it is still being investigated. Durham police say that a person was shot early this morning, and that happened around 12:15 a.m. This was on Elm Street. No word just yet on how badly injured that person is or if any arrests have been made, but we're staying with that story. Plus this one, someone shot at a state trooper's vehicle during an attempted traffic stop last night. That trooper was not injured, and this happened around 8:30 p.m. on MacArthur Road near I-295 in Fayetteville. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there as troopers were examining the damage to the cruiser, and you can just see them looking at a flat front tire and then changing it at one point. We are working to get more information from Highway Patrol about what all led up to this happening. Zebulon's 5 county stadiums will have new teams there, new attractions, and millions of dollars of upgrades. A new partnership with WRAL's parent company, Capital Broadcasting Company, will give the stadium new life. 5 County Stadium was home to the Carolina Mudcats for decades. And now that the Mudcats are leaving, well, CBC plans to bring a Coastal Plains League team to that stadium. Wake Tech would also play at their baseball, softball, and soccer games as well. CBC plans to add a new field, a scoreboard, concessions, and a family play area. And the first games are expected to be played there next year. 2 people are hurt after a chase and a crash involving Wake County deputies. Investigators say they tried to pull over a driver for speeding on I-87 around 5:15 yesterday evening, and the driver led deputies on a chase before crashing on Pool Road. 5 cars were then caught up in the crash, and Sky 5 flew above the aftermath there on the Beltline. We're told the 2 people who were hurt are expected to recover. The driver who led the chase, that person is facing charges. Investigators are trying to find the cause of a fire at Campbell University. That happened last night at an administrative building. We're told that a storage unit was damaged, and the university shared photos with us. You can see these firefighters here. It says there was no danger to the students or staff, but that fire was quickly put out. A Raleigh woman and her son are out of their home because a car crashed into it. Police say that car was stolen, and we first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday morning. The car crashed into a home on Haverty Drive around 4:30 a.m., and the impact was so strong it awoke the woman and her son.
I went home by myself. I didn't know what in the world I would have did. Probably had a heart attack.
Raleigh police say they are looking for the people who were in the car, and despite the crash, police say cases like this are actually down from last year. Governor Josh Stein announced a plan to get more AI into state government, and he signed an executive order creating programs using AI to improve state services. The governor directed state agencies to create oversight teams with that in mind, and he also created an AI leadership council to ensure the state is using that technology responsibly.
It's going to make it more efficient for workers to actually do their job. As we look at it, how do we take that efficiency and be able to shift them to doing something else as well that they already have, they just haven't gotten to.
A pilot project found AI helped some divisions of the state treasurer's office improve productivity by about 10%. And the governor thinks the technology could also be used at the DMV and other state agencies. All right, there's a new flight that is available at RDU where you are looking live this morning. You can now fly directly from RDU to Ogdensburg, New York. That's near the Canadian border. Breeze Airways is the carrier, and the airline has added several new flights to upstate New York in recent months. We've reported about a lot regarding the new cell phone policies hitting schools across the state. Well, now we're getting a look inside a Wake County school to see how it's applying the new district-wide policy. The policy went into effect at the beginning of this school year, and it requires students to keep them away during class. Now, Green Hope High School already had similar rules, and it requires students to put their phones into labeled caddies on the wall during class.
Out of reach. So if they get a notification or they get a buzz on their watch, and their phone's in their bag, it's very difficult for a 16-year-old brain, it's not fully developed yet, to ignore that notification.
Now it's just like more like official, I guess. So like we've always had it, just now we're putting a label on it.
Students say teachers are being stricter this year, but they say the policy works because they know the expectations, regardless of the classroom. Tonight is the night you could become a billionaire. The jackpot for tonight's Powerball drawing is up $1.3 billion. It is the 5th largest jackpot in the game's history, and if you win and choose the lump sum cash option, you could take home $589 million. You can watch tonight's drawing right here on WRAL before our 11 p.m. newscast. President Donald Trump says the U.S. military conducted a strike on a boat tied to a Venezuelan drug cartel. The president says 11 people were killed in total in that strike. It happened in international waters. He shared this video on social media. The president says more strikes could be on the way, too.
You'll see, and there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela, so we took it out.
The president said the boat was tied to a cartel designated as a foreign terrorist organization this year, and the U.S. military deployed forces around the Caribbean and Latin America as part of an effort to combat drug cartels. Your time is 4:40. Prank gone wrong. A boy is dead after a reported game of ding-dong ditch ended in gunshots in Texas. Why the district attorney believes that shooting was intentional. And not in my backyard. People living near the South Wake landfill say the odor from the site is getting worse. The idea is on the table to bring some fresher air their way. And like we said, folks, it still feels like fall as you're waking up. But, well, that summer just keeps on striking back. Just ahead, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows you the areas that are heating back up.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:43, taking a look at this beautiful start to the day. Skies are clear, so we have the top of the tower lit in blue this morning. Temperatures are feeling good, and so is the humidity. We're way down here at comfy again. All of this is going to change. We're going to see some warmer mornings, more humidity creeping in toward the end of the week. I'm going to explain our pattern change and how different it'll feel coming up. But enjoy this morning. 55 in Durham, 52 Roxborough, 57 in Garner, 62 in Goldsboro, and 56 in Rocky Mount. So it feels great as you're heading out the door to walk the dog. And at lunchtime, great too, 76. A little bit warmer than yesterday. We kept it in the 70s in a lot of places. We'll climb into the low 80s, but that will still feel comfortable today with our nice low humidity.
A Houston man is facing murder charges because he reportedly shot and killed an 11-year-old boy. And this was a shooting after an apparent ding-dong ditch prank. Authorities arrested Gonzalo Leon Jr. yesterday, and he'll be in court today. Houston police say the boy and his cousin were ringing people's doorbells and then running away Saturday night. Investigators say a witness saw Leon Jr. leave his home and fire a gunshot first into the road, then at the boy, hitting him in the back. The boy died of his injuries Sunday. The district attorney says he believes that shooting was intentional.
You believe that he aimed at this boy?
That is exactly what we believe.
Was there ever a moment where your team considered this may have been self-defense?
No, never.
The Houston community is memorializing the boy's life cut short. Chanel Jones will return to Today months after her husband died from brain cancer. The co-host on the third hour of Today will be back in Studio 1A on Friday. She hasn't been on air since January, you may recall. Her husband, Uche Oj, died at the age of 45 in May after a battle with brain cancer. The two were married for 17 years and have 3 children together. Your time is 4:45. Football fans, get ready. Tomorrow marks the official start of the 2025 NFL season. Coming up this morning on Today, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is joining the team for a live exclusive interview to talk about the upcoming season there. And then the new season kicks off tomorrow night on WRAL with a classic rivalry. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are looking to defend their Super Bowl 59 victory from last season. And kickoff is at 8:20 tomorrow night. You can watch coverage starting at 7 o'clock right here on WRAL. A Wake County landfill is causing a bit of a stink. People who live in Apex and Holly Springs say the smell from the South Wake landfill is getting worse. WRAL's Heidi Kirk asked Wake officials, what's being done to fix that problem?
The smell that comes from the South Wake landfill is hard to ignore. It's a problem that's persisted here for years, and we've reported on it many times. But people who live nearby say recently it's gotten worse. The Nelsons never know what smell they're going to get when they walk outside their home.
I would say there's days that it can get overwhelming, but most of the time it's just like that faint, like, oh, I'm near some trash or some trash can.
And some days it's nearly unbearable.
I'd say there's definitely been some days that we want to go in the backyard and play on the playground, and I tell the boys, it's not today, it's too stinky.
The Nelsons have heard a lot of talk about solutions, but they wonder how long this will go on.
I'd love to hear more of what the long-term plan is.
We took their questions to the director of the Division of Solid Waste and Recycling, John Robertson. He says the smell has gotten worse with more rainfall and the opening of a new part of the landfill, among other things.
That new phase of the landfill means we're at a lower elevation, so we're not horizontally closer to the neighborhoods, but we are at a same elevation as the neighborhoods.
He says that can make the smell stronger, but fixing that problem is a priority. The landfill has recently improved its misting and vapor-based systems to dissipate the smell and has transitioned its work to periods of the day when the smell is easier to maintain and other things.
Are you truly doing everything you can to
Yeah.
make this problem go away.
If you compare our landfill to most any other landfill in the nation, we're doing more, whether it's technology, whether it's our misting systems, whether it's the way we operate our landfill. We're doing more than just about any landfill you'll find in the United States.
The Nelsons are eager to see those solutions in action.
Now, the county does encourage you to report it if you noticed, especially any changes in that smell, or if you notice it for the first time. They say they investigate every single complaint. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News in Wake County.
Now, if you live in the area, you should see a noticeable difference in the smell this weekend. Neighbors in Franklin County have extra time to get a discount on their tax bill. Pay attention. The county was late getting them out to people, and so to make up for it, they extended a reward program. People now have until September 30th to pay their taxes if they want a discount. Otherwise, they have until the end of the year in order to pay. North Carolina Central and Durham Tech, they are partnering to strengthen the state's fastest growing industry, life sciences. There's a new program to fast track transfer pathways between Durham Tech's associates in applied sciences program and bachelor's degrees in NC Central's College of Health and Sciences. The program creates ways for Durham Tech students to get careers in life sciences, clinical trials, even STEM. And the life sciences industry has grown by 23% in North Carolina since 2019. A new study suggests that binge watching your favorite shows could actually improve your well-being. Researchers from the University of Georgia and Michigan State University, they studied 540 undergraduate students who binge watch television. They found that students who watch shows for long periods of time continuously thought about stories after completing them. The study showed that people pulled fulfilling memories from their binge watching experiences and then used those to help cope with stress, and that could lead to increased well-being. I've been watching the show Justified recently. I'm not sure comforting is the word for that one, but I think it's pretty fun to binge watch. Let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner right now to talk about that fall-like feel, but I know it's going to go away at least for a bit as things are warming up again.
You weren't going to ask me what I'm binge watching?
Well, what are you binge watching there?
Okay, y'all are going to laugh. Most of you probably have never even heard of this show. Northern Exposure. It was back from the 90s, and I'd watched the whole thing, but man, I love that show. It's based in Alaska, and you know they run around in the woods with moose. I mean, I love it. It's fabulous. You know, anything about running around in the woods is what I want to do. In Zebulon, it's going to be a great morning for running around. Maybe not in the woods, but running around, getting to work and school this morning. It feels great out there, 55, with a dew point of 55, and our skies are clear. Checking temperatures across our area. Our warmest spot is Clinton at 60, 56 in Rocky Mount, 54 in Southern Pines, and we zoom into the Triangle and looking at mid-50s here too. Cary at 55, 57 at Apex, 57 Knightdale and in Garner. So it feels very similar to yesterday. Our afternoon temperatures will be a touch warmer, but it's probably not enough to notice a big difference. Low 80s in Raleigh and Durham and mid 80s in Fayetteville. Once again, we stay nice and dry. So what do these temperatures feel like? Well, actually, northern New York. August in Albany, the normal high is 81 and the normal low is 59. And that's pretty much what we're going to see today as well. So, yep, we've had that, you know, for much of August and, you know, now into early September. But here's what's new and what's coming our way. We're looking at a cold front that arrives tomorrow. It looks a little bit slower, a little bit weaker. We will see some rain late tomorrow night. And then that front isn't going to deliver cooler temperatures. Instead, we'll see hotter temperatures Friday and Saturday. And I'll explain why that is coming up in just a little bit. Right here, take a look at our temperature change. Right now, high pressure with us. The blue shaded area is where temperatures are below normal. First front washes out and doesn't help to deliver that cooler air. Instead, ahead of the second front, we warm up. We'll see a southwesterly flow that brings us some summer-like conditions, some real summer-like conditions for Saturday, and then early next week we get back into some of those lower temperatures. So look at this, Friday and Saturday, highs could be in the low 90s, and I know, maybe we're not ready for that, but our average last 90-degree day of the year is September the 12th. So potentially this could be our last couple of 90-degree days, especially when we look at next week and see this big drop in temperatures. We do have a couple of periods that look wet, and we'll talk more about those coming up.
Oh no, last 90 days? I hate this. I don't hate this. Your time is 4:52. Power in parents' hands. You can now have more control over what your children are doing. The new additions ChatGPT is adding to their software. Plus, $1 million settlement. Why Disney will pay the FTC $10 million.